Hello, everyone. I'm Navneet from Just Evaluate, and today I'll be taking up the fourth question of speaking, that is the Retell lecture of PTE. And you must watch this video till the end, as I'll be discussing a sample answer also with you as to how to go about it, how to retell the lecture. So, before we begin, please do subscribe to my channel if you haven't as yet, and watch the video till the end. Now, what do you think is meant by retell? See, as the name suggests, retell means to tell something again. So that is what you are expected to do in this question. You will hear an audio which will be about 60 to 90 seconds long, as mentioned here, and you need to take down notes side by side, especially what the lecture is about. Then you must write down the main points, whether the names are being mentioned, or some important dates are being mentioned, or some important events are being mentioned. You need to take those down. 3 to 4 such main points will do. And then lastly, there should be a concluding sentence. Once the audio is over, you'll get 10 seconds to prepare and another 40 seconds to give your answer. And in this question, you're given marks for two modules, speaking as well as listening. Total marks are 22. Speaking, 12 marks are allotted, and for listening, 10. And in enabling skills, you're judged on three parameters: fluency, pronunciation, content. All are allotted 5 marks each. So now if you see, how should you go about retelling the lecture? Firstly, the most important thing is that you need to take down notes. If you don't take down notes, you'll forget what to say. So you need to, now you can take down the notes in the form of abbreviations in short form, because it will be very difficult to write full sentences side by side. So you can take down short forms also. Now, what is the strategy? When you retell a lecture, speak very loudly, clearly, and then you should start when the microphone opens. And the progress bar will show as you start speaking, where have you reached, how many seconds have passed, and you should finish your lecture before it reaches the end. Because after the word recording changes to completed, it will not record further. So it's better to complete your answer in 35, 36 seconds. And you will not get a second chance to record your answer. You can record it only once. Supposing you're not happy with your answer, you will not be given a second chance. And at times with the retell lecture, in the question itself, you will be shown an image related to the lecture, so that you can get an idea as to what the lecture is going to be about. So that is very, very important for you to see and get an idea from the image. Now, here in the retell lecture, you can also use a template and practice this template at home. So, what should you do? 5 to 6 sentences, basically 5 sentences, are more than enough to come to about 32, 33, 34 seconds answer. So the first second naturally has to be about the topic, like what was the lecture about? Or what is the speaker discussing, or what is he talking about? Then write down 4, 5 main points. If you're not able to write down all the main points, that's it. As long as the written material word 2, 3 sentences here, more than enough. And then lastly, an overall idea, the fifth sentence. Now, 5 sentences, as I mentioned earlier, will cover about 34 to 35 seconds, which is more than enough for the answer. So now let's take a sample answer and discuss it. And the most important thing to remember is that you need to take down notes side by side so that you can speak for 35 seconds at least. Okay. So now please listen to the question, that is the audio, and make notes side by side like I have done here. So I'll be guiding you how to go about it. So let's listen to the audio now.
Exposure to extreme heat can have severe consequences on the human body. When the body is exposed to high temperatures, it tries to regulate its temperature through sweating and increasing blood flow to the skin. However, if the body is unable to cool down enough, it can lead to heat exhaustion or even heat stroke, which can be fatal.
Yes, and heat exhaustion can cause symptoms such as heavy sweating, dizziness, nausea, and headaches. If not treated, it can lead to heat stroke, which can cause the body temperature to rise above 104 degrees Fahrenheit, 40 degrees Celsius, and this can cause confusion, seizures, organ failure, and even death.
In addition, exposure to extreme heat can also lead to dehydration, cause further health problems such as low blood pressure, rapid heartbeat, and kidney damage.
That's correct. Vulnerable groups such as the elderly, children, pregnant women, and people with certain medical conditions such as heart disease are at greater risk of the harmful effects of extreme heat.
To prevent these effects, it is important to stay hydrated, avoid direct sunlight during the hottest parts of the day, wear loose and lightweight clothing, and air-conditioned environments when possible.
Yes, and it's also essential to monitor the symptoms of heat exhaustion, such as heavy sweating, fatigue, muscle cramps. If someone is experiencing these symptoms, it's important to get them to a cooler place and provide fluids and rest. If the symptoms worsen or if heat stroke is suspected, it's important to seek medical attention immediately.
Okay. So whatever I could jot down side by side, I have done so. And you should also listen to the audio again and jot down your notes side by side. Okay. And then formulate your answer because you'll get 10 seconds in between to prepare. So you can write this rapid heartbeat like I've written the full form. So you can write rapid heartbeat so that you know what you've written because you won't have that much of time to write everything down. Okay. So now let's discuss the answer, how you should go about it. Now, from these notes, you need to speak directly. Obviously, you cannot speak incomplete sentences. You need to speak at least 5 complete sentences. So, first sentence should be about the topic. What is the speaker talking about? Then 3 to 4 main points, and then lastly the concluding sentence. Okay, so now the answer. How we should go about it? Let's see. The speaker discusses the repercussions of exposure to extreme heat and how the damage can be prevented. If body temperature is not regulated in time, it can lead to heat exhaustion. The symptoms are sweating, dizziness, headaches, high temperature, and dehydration. People who are elderly, children, pregnant women, and who have medical issues are at high risk. To prevent this, drink fluids, avoid direct sunlight, wear light clothing. But if symptoms persist, please go to the hospital. So this has taken me exactly 35 seconds, which is more than enough for a Retell lecture. Now, as I've always insisted with all my students, that you need to practice, practice, and practice all the questions in PTE, especially this Retell lecture. The more you practice, the better you will get at it. So do practice and work hard and score full marks in this.